An ocean wave. Graceful in appearance, but it's a powerful and determined force of nature. And she's graceful, but also a determined force of nature.
All right, let's go.
She's Holly Beck, the U.S. Amateur Women's Champion Surfer, and she's got the push.
There's always that aspect of the push. I have it.
And taking the inaugural event of the Pro Surf Tour of America's Women's Final, Holly Beck.
And first place, Holly Beck.
The push that Holly's got describes the focus of attention this 19-year-old is getting in this super cool world of surfing.
And up and riding in white, I would say Holly Beck.
Her own determination was the beginning.
I never had a surf lesson, I never had a surf coach. Nobody ever told me what to do. It was just trial and error.
Holly's extraordinary self-confidence is a key to her competitive success, and her family is a part of that foundation.
She's pretty aggressive for a girl. She's very, she's not very fearful. She's fairly fearless, and she doesn't mind falling and having the waves squash her.
Holly is a real straight arrow, and although surfing is important to her, it doesn't take a backseat to her studies at the University of California, San Diego.
I like being educated and not being an idiot, like the stereotypical surfer, but it's really tough to, do that when I know that all my friends and the people I surf against all the time are just surfing every day.
Surfing is an extreme and demanding sport, a challenge that appeals to the adventurous spirit. It's a form of self-expression, and each individual has their own style.
A good surfer will incorporate everything. I mean, there's definitely some people who prefer to do aerials, who, all they do is ride along the wave, get a lot of speed, and go up and hit, get air. Then there's the surfers who call themselves power surfers, who race down the line and just do big power turns, lay out on their rail and just throw a lot of water. I think the best surfer is one that will incorporate all of those aspects into their own style.
Holly's style is aggressive but graceful, and could come from some of her early training in dance.
My mom was a dance teacher, so as soon as I was 3 years old, she gave me a pair of ballet shoes and a pink tutu and said, "You're going to take dancing lessons."
It's a fluid aquatic dance on a liquid stage. But it's not always smooth sailing, and when things get rough,
then you're thinking, I hope I make this, because if I don't, I'm going to get worked.
Getting worked happens to the best of surfers. It goes with the territory. Holly's got a lot of courage and can take the blows, but that's tempered with plain common sense. You see that thing up there?
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
How do I feel about that? I don't want it coming at me when I'm sitting in the lineup, that's for sure.
Competitive surfing is a world of its own. For a competitor like Holly, the contest brings increased demands.
I try to catch my first wave right off the bat so I can just get one under my belt and kind of relax. But if it takes me a while to get that first wave, or if my first wave I fall on, then I feel like I'm playing catch-up the whole time. Just try to think about more of the waves rather than the people I'm surfing against. Rather than focusing on who's my competition and who I have to beat, I try to think about what I have to do. Where I have to paddle out to, where I have to sit, which waves I have to get. I'm thinking, I've got to get a wave, I've got to win this heat.
If the waves aren't sufficiently challenging, Holly will occasionally try a headstand, just for the fun of it.
I just want to make it through a couple heats. That's all.
The world of international surfing is a glamorous one, but the competitors make personal sacrifices for that life.
You're away from home for 8 months at a time. You live out of a suitcase. But if you're really going to go at it, you got to do all the contests. And you got to, when you're not doing the contest, you got to be in California promoting yourself.
And promotion and merchandising are what drive the commercial end of surfing. Along with the boards.
So you probably ride around that area, maybe 6'0"?
5'10" to 6'0".
Okay.
Good boy, good salesman.
There we go.
There are apparel products that project the cool surfer image. Still, the sponsorships and prize money for women are less than for men.
The women don't get nearly as much money as the guys.
Are women happy with the corporate support? Ask top pros Lisa Anderson and Rochelle Ballard.
I'm never happy with that.
No, I'm not satisfied, and yes, I want more.
Holly's sponsors appreciate her as someone who can project that cool image, which sells their products.
This makeup guy went nuts on me. My hair was out to here.
And she's got a pretty striking image. In coastal areas where surfing thrives, top surfers are celebrities.
Here you go. Hi there. What's your name? Elaine? Yeah.
And the buzz Holly is creating is bringing some attention that she is not normally accustomed to.
I definitely get a lot of unwanted attention.
Yeah.
I mean, it varies how much, depending on where I'm at, what I'm doing, but there's definitely a lot of guys, that mostly guys I know, when they come up and like, hey, saw you in the magazine, let's hang out. My boyfriend doesn't dig it so much.
Celebrity and competition aside, surfing for Holly and other young women is an expression of spirit and joy.
If all of this fell apart, if I couldn't do this anymore, no more interviews, no more magazines, no more contests, I wouldn't stop surfing. Surfing's it's the best thing.
To the devotee like Holly, there's even a sacred element.
It's very religious. You're communing with nature. You're baptizing yourself in the water, in the salt water, whatever you want to say it.
But what drives Holly seems to be the simple fun of it all.
Surfing's the best thing in the world. I can't think of anything more fun. There's nothing better than standing on a big moving wave and feeling the power of it underneath your feet and just riding it all the way to the beach. There's nothing better than that.
She's a young woman with a big future, and you can bet she will have it her way. Tim Wardner reporting.